In the ever-evolving world of interior design, few aesthetics possess the staying power of Martha Stewart's signature style. A masterful blend of vintage charm and contemporary elegance that has influenced American homes for decades. This distinctive approach transcends fleeting trends by honoring traditional craftsmanship and timeless design principles while embracing modern functionality and clean lines. The result is living spaces that feel simultaneously familiar and fresh, curated yet comfortable, sophisticated without pretension. By studying Martha's design philosophy, we gain insight into creating homes that evolve gracefully rather than requiring complete overhauls with each passing design season.
Welcome to Rustic Elegance. Let's embark on a journey through the beauty of rustic decor, celebrating the warmth, simplicity, and natural charm of this timeless design.
Timeless home styling tips inspired by Martha Stewart. Vintage meets modern charm. What makes Martha Stewart's approach so compelling is its accessibility. Her design principles can be adapted to any budget, space, or personal style preference. At its core, this aesthetic celebrates the beauty in everyday living, elevating the ordinary through thoughtful details and quality materials, rather than extravagant gestures or status pieces. Whether you're furnishing your first apartment or refreshing a long-established home, these principles provide a framework for creating spaces that feel both personal and polished, with an emphasis on quality, functionality, and subtle sophistication. In this guide, we'll explore 5 essential elements of Martha's timeless design approach that seamlessly blend vintage character with modern sensibility. From creating neutral foundations that showcase cherished pieces to thoughtfully incorporating nature's imperfect beauty, these strategies will help you develop spaces that feel curated rather than decorated, evolved rather than designed. By embracing these principles, you'll create a home that not only looks beautiful today but will continue to feel relevant and inviting for years to come. The true hallmark of enduring style. One. Start with a neutral foundation, layering tones for a timeless look. Neutral color palettes for cozy, elegant interiors. Create warmth and balance in your home by choosing soft neutral color palettes. Think warm taupe, ivory, and greige. Martha Stewart often begins with a clean, natural base that allows textures and vintage details to shine. These understated hues set the stage for both modern and antique elements to blend seamlessly. Professional interior designers recommend selecting neutrals with undertones that complement your home's natural light. Warmer beiges and creams for north-facing rooms, cooler grays and taupes for spaces flooded with southern exposure. This nuanced approach to neutral selection ensures your foundation colors enhance rather than fight against your home's natural characteristics, creating that signature Martha Stewart harmony between structure and decoration. Vintage furniture meets modern minimalist backdrop. A neutral background is the perfect stage for displaying curated vintage furniture. Whether it's a reupholstered armchair or an antique mirror, these timeless pieces pop beautifully against calm, contemporary walls. It's a trick Martha uses to make each item feel meaningful yet effortless. Design experts suggest limiting vintage furniture to a few statement pieces per room, perhaps a heritage sideboard in the dining area or a restored Bergera chair in the living room, to prevent the space from feeling like a museum. This restraint creates a collected over time atmosphere that characterizes Martha's signature style, allowing each vintage piece adequate breathing room to be appreciated fully against your neutral canvas. How to mix neutral tones with textures like a pro. Layering textures is key to keeping neutral interiors interesting. Mix linen, wrought tan, brushed brass, and velvet for depth. Follow Martha's lead by combining old and new materials that feel lived in and refined. This adds dimension without overpowering your room's quiet beauty. Interior design specialists recommend considering the weight and scale of textures when creating these layers, perhaps pairing a substantial jute rug with lighter linen drapery, or contrasting smooth velvet pillows against a nubby throw blanket. Martha often incorporates subtle tonal variations within her neutral schemes, perhaps using 5 different shades of white and cream in a single room, creating rich visual depth while maintaining the serene, sophisticated atmosphere that has become her trademark. Two, curate with color, using soft accents for personal charm. Timeless color accents inspired by Martha's palette. Martha Stewart is known for her expert use of color. Think muted blues, sage greens, and blush tones. These soft shades add personality without overwhelming your space. Use them sparingly in accessories like pillows, vases, and throw blankets for a cohesive yet expressive style. Color psychology research supports Martha's preference for these hues, with studies showing that soft, nature-inspired colors promote feelings of tranquility and well-being in living environments. When selecting your accent colors, consider Martha's approach of drawing inspiration from natural elements, perhaps the silvery blue-green of eucalyptus leaves, the warm terracotta of garden pots, or the gentle lavender of freshly dried herbs, creating a subtle connection between your indoor spaces and the natural world. Mixing pastel decor with modern interiors. Pastel shades aren't just for vintage homes. They work beautifully in modern spaces when balanced with clean lines and simple furniture. Try a blush pink lamp or a pale green cabinet to introduce charm without disrupting a minimalist vibe. Interior designers note that today's popular pastel palette has evolved from the sweeter tones of decades past to include more sophisticated, desaturated versions. Think dusty rose rather than bubblegum pink, sage instead of mint green. These muted pastels have become Martha Stewart signatures because they reference historical color traditions while feeling thoroughly contemporary. For maximum impact in modern spaces, limit pastels to either larger furniture pieces or smaller accessories, avoiding the middle ground that can make the combination feel unintentional. Modern vintage decorating with color stories. Create a story with your color choices, just like Martha. Combine era-specific hues, like dusty rose with sage, and modern silhouettes for a harmonious blend. It's all about intentional contrasts that tell your home's unique story. Professional stylists recommend developing a limited color palette of 3 to 5 complementary hues that can be deployed throughout your home in varying concentrations. creating cohesion while allowing each room its own character. This approach mimics Martha's signature color discipline. Her homes feel unified yet never repetitive, with each space building upon a shared color vocabulary. When selecting your personal color story, consider both emotional resonance, colors that bring you joy, and historical context, shades that reference periods or styles you admire, creating a palette that feels both personally meaningful and aesthetically coherent. Three, style open shelves thoughtfully. Balance function and beauty. Open shelf styling tips for a cozy and chic home. Martha Stewart believes shelves should be both practical and pretty. Blend everyday items like dishware with decorative objects like vintage jars, framed prints, or potted herbs. Keep color tones cohesive and spacing airy for an elevated look. Visual merchandising principles suggest maintaining approximately 30% open space on shelves to prevent a cluttered appearance, a rule Martha consistently demonstrates in her own homes. This thoughtful negative space creates visual moments of rest, allowing featured items to be appreciated fully rather than lost in dense arrangements. Consider organizing items by subtle color progression or graduated heights to create rhythm and intentionality, transforming utilitarian storage into an artistic display that enhances your home's overall aesthetic. Vintage finds and functional decor on display. Open shelves offer the perfect place to showcase vintage cookware, old recipe books, and modern minimalist accessories. This curated mix adds charm and function while giving guests a glimpse into your personality and lifestyle. Professional organizers recommend selecting display items that tell your story, perhaps travel souvenirs, family heirlooms, or collections that reflect your passions. Martha exemplifies this approach by incorporating items with personal meaning, from antique copper cookware that reflects her culinary expertise to vintage gardening books that showcase her horticultural interests. By selecting functional objects that also carry aesthetic or sentimental value, your open shelving becomes a thoughtfully curated expression of who you are rather than simply decorative storage. How to arrange open shelves like a Martha-approved pro. Follow the high-low formula. Pair affordable glassware with heirloom bowls or flea market finds. Use Martha's trick of grouping in threes in varying height and texture. It creates an effortless, magazine-worthy vignette on any open wall. Interior stylists recommend approaching shelf arrangements as compositions, considering not just individual items, but how they interact visually as a group. Martha's shelves exemplify this artistic approach, with careful attention to balancing visual weight, perhaps anchoring a shelf with a substantial ceramic bowl, then adding medium-sized books or boxes, and finishing with smaller, more delicate items to create dimension. Periodically rotating seasonal elements while maintaining core pieces keeps these displays fresh and engaging year-round, another hallmark of Martha's evolving but consistent home style. Four, embrace nature and imperfection, organic materials and rustic details. bringing nature indoors with rustic elegance. Add timeless charm by decorating with natural materials like linen, wood, and terracotta. Martha often layers organic textures with soft, vintage touches to make spaces feel inviting, grounded, and authentic. Biophilic design research confirms the psychological benefits of incorporating natural elements, showing reduced stress levels and improved well-being in spaces that connect to nature. Martha's approach exemplifies this science through thoughtful inclusion of organic materials with minimal processing, unfinished woods that display grain patterns, handmade ceramics that reveal the artist's touch, and natural fiber textiles that showcase inherent texture. These elements bring sensory richness to contemporary interiors while honoring traditional craftsmanship, creating that signature Martha Stewart balance between refinement and rustic charm. Wabi-sabi living. Celebrate flaws with style. Modern vintage design embraces imperfection. Cracks in ceramics, patina on brass, and sun-faded fabrics all tell a story. Use these elements to create warmth and character in your home without trying too hard. Anthropologists note that visible signs of age and use in household objects create emotional connections, making spaces feel more authentic and lived in. Martha's homes demonstrate this principle through thoughtfully preserved patinas and wear marks that communicate history and authenticity. When incorporating imperfect elements, interior designers recommend being selective. Choose items whose imperfections add character rather than detract from function, and place them strategically among more pristine pieces for contrast. This balanced approach prevents spaces from feeling either too precious or too weathered. The art of imperfect beauty in home styling. Combine rustic pieces like a weathered farmhouse table with sleek modern accents to strike a balance. Inspired by Martha, it's this harmony between old and new, polished and raw, that makes a home truly timeless. Design historians point to this juxtaposition as a defining characteristic of sophisticated interiors throughout history, from Japanese imperial palaces featuring rough-hewn beams, alongside refined silk screens, to European country houses where rustic antiques complement elegant architectural details. Martha has modernized this timeless approach by incorporating contemporary elements that reference traditional forms, creating spaces that feel both historically grounded and thoroughly current. To achieve this balance in your own home, consider pairing each rustic element with something more refined, perhaps rustic pottery displayed on a sleek marble shelf, or a weathered wooden bench beside a tailored modern sofa. Five. Update traditional furniture with paint and hardware. Easy furniture makeovers inspired by Martha's DIY charm. Give new life to an old dresser with a coat of sage or dove gray paint, Martha's go-to shades. Swap outdated knobs with brass or ceramic handles for a modern refresh that still honors tradition. Furniture restoration experts recommend proper preparation as the key to professional-looking results, thoroughly cleaning, lightly sanding, and priming surfaces before applying quality paint in thin, even coats. Martha's painted furniture projects demonstrate this attention to process, resulting in pieces that look deliberately designed rather than hastily updated. For maximum versatility, Consider neutral paint colors with subtle undertones that complement your home's existing palette, allowing refreshed pieces to move between rooms as your needs and preferences evolve. Blending old-world pieces with updated finishes. Instead of replacing vintage furniture, enhance it with subtle tweaks. A painted frame or modern drawer pulls can instantly shift the mood from dated to timeless chic. It's a sustainable, budget-friendly way to decorate. Environmental design specialists note that repurposing existing furniture significantly reduces your home's carbon footprint compared to purchasing new pieces, a sustainability principle Martha has championed throughout her career. When updating heritage pieces, design professionals suggest preserving original elements that showcase craftsmanship, perhaps leaving ornate wooden details unpainted or maintaining original interior finishes while updating exteriors. Painted furniture ideas that bridge past and present. Martha's timeless style shines when classic silhouettes meet soft, modern colors. Try painting a French country chair in matte ivory or a curio cabinet in muted green. The results feel intentional, stylish, and perfectly in between eras. Color theorists note that transitional shades, those that aren't clearly warm or cool but exist somewhere in between, work particularly well for bridging historical and contemporary styles. Martha frequently employs these complex neutrals and muted colors on traditional furniture forms, creating pieces that complement both antique and modern surroundings. For cohesive results in your own home, consider selecting paint colors that appear elsewhere in your space in smaller doses, perhaps matching a painted sideboard to the background shade in artwork or drapery patterns, creating subtle connections that unify your design. Conclusion. The enduring appeal of Martha Stewart's design philosophy lies in its thoughtful balance between honoring tradition and embracing innovation. By following these principles, creating neutral foundations, incorporating subtle color, displaying meaningful collections, embracing natural imperfection, and thoughtfully updating heritage pieces, you develop spaces that feel both timeless and personal. This approach creates homes that evolve gracefully rather than demanding complete overhauls with each passing trend, allowing you to invest in quality pieces that will bring joy for years to come. As you implement these timeless principles in your own home, remember that true style evolves gradually. Allow yourself time to refine your aesthetic, collect meaningful pieces, and develop spaces that tell your unique story. Martha's own homes have evolved over decades, each iteration building upon established principles while incorporating new influences and ideas. This patient, evolutionary approach to home design ultimately creates living spaces with depth and soul, environments that comfort and inspire their inhabitants while standing the test of time. In following Martha's lead, you're not just decorating your home, you're creating a personal sanctuary that beautifully balances the best of past and present.